Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of TEPSA Presents. We are back here in August, almost September, with all new episodes. And we have a brand new member spotlight today. And I am so excited about today's member spotlight. Today, I have Cindy Tierney on with me to talk a little bit about herself. But Cindy, let's start with kind of you just telling us who you are.
All right. Well, I'm Cindy Tierney. I work in Lufkin ISD, and I'm blessed to be a part of TEPSA. This is actually my 15th year as a TEPSA member.
Wow.
And my first year as a principal, I got involved at the region level. I was in a region where they needed some representation from the southern area, and I was it. And let me tell you, TEPSA has been a lifeline throughout my career, and it has been a blessing. And I'm honored to give back to this great organization. I am currently the Executive Director for Student Services and Federal Programs. And as far as family members, I have Kayla, who is 27. She is a self-contained teacher, also in Lufkin. She teaches babies with
Aww.
autism, and she's currently in graduate school to become an LSSP. And our son Kyle is in his third year of law school, and I have been happily married to Jim for 30 years, almost
Now,
30 years. It'll be 30 years in January.
congratulations on all of that. Now, you also hold a very unique role in TEPSA currently, don't you?
I
You
do.
forgot to mention that.
I'm currently the state president and honored to
Woo!
serve in this capacity.
Well, we are so excited to have you as our state president this year. We can't wait to see all the great things that are going to happen. But, when we have these member spotlights, I love first kind of just chatting about how, you've been an educator before you were in administration in any kind of role. So when you were in the classroom, what was kind of that drive or that interest that made you think that maybe one of these campus or district leadership roles might be what's right for you?
Well, the thought never really crossed my mind until I was in college. And the minute that it crossed my mind, I knew it was something that I had to do. And, I didn't stay in the classroom very long. Looking back, I kind of wish I'd stayed a little bit longer. But I had some unique roles as a teacher. Did my first job was actually as a music teacher in elementary. And don't play the piano, don't sing, but it was a perfect match because the district needed a position and I needed a job. So it worked
Uh,
out well.
yep,
So
yep.
I then went into chapter reading, which was a remedial reading program at the time, and did that, like for grades first through sixth. And then moved into middle school. I taught English and fine arts because I had that music background. And then I taught second grade. I joined Lufkin in the year 2000 and then moved into a leadership position very quickly in 2001.
I love
So
that.
it was just
Well,
something that I always wanted to do.
and I love all the different things you've got to do because I think that really adds to you as a leader too, with all these different types of experiences. But being in a leadership role now, especially in a district level position where you're working with so many, one question I'd love to know is, as I talk with administrators and anybody in education at this time, there's a lot on everybody's plates. And we talk a lot about kind of taking care of yourself and making sure you prioritize yourself. How do you make sure that you don't get overwhelmed by things that happen? Like, what do you do to keep yourself anchored or centered?
Todd, I'm not the expert on this by any stretch. I'm probably the worst person in the world to ask because it's almost 8 o'clock at night and I'm at the office. um, but honestly, I try to schedule everything. I plan those appointments for me. I get a massage once a month. I have
Yeah.
my nails done. Um, I do try to plan those things in just to give myself some time that I cannot answer my phone and I
Hmm.
cannot text or
Hmm.
email. And that works well. My husband and I have a date once a month where we have our toes done. So that's a
Oh,
special time for us, and also family time. My daughter lives in Lufkin, but our son lives in Lubbock. So anytime that he's in town, we spend as much time as possible as a family.
well, and I love that because I think, everybody's got to find what's right for them. Everybody's
Yeah.
got to find what keeps them going. And I love hearing what kind of keeps yours. And so, you know, we're constant learners, whether it's learning new ideas or learning more about ourselves throughout the different jobs that we have. What do you feel like you've really learned about yourself in the last couple of years?
I think that's a tough question. Um, I try to take on a lot, and I think to some extent it could be too much, but I love to be involved. I love to stay busy, and I love to make a difference in the lives of others. So, and sometimes that may be to a fault because it's maybe a little much.
Right.
So,
So, you know, now that you're our state president for TEPSA, what are you really looking forward to in this new role for this year?
new relationships. It is such a blessing to get to know and form relationships with leaders across our state and really to some extent in our nation. And I've formed great relationships with, our TEPSA staff members and our TEPSA board and our executive committee. And I look forward to meeting new members. And I just found out today I get to go to the assistant principal conference this year.
Uh,
So I'm really looking forward to that. And then we'll be at Grow and,
yep.
just seeing TEPSA members and from lots of different backgrounds and lots of areas in our state. And I love that. I love talking to people and finding out who they are and what they do and what they're about. So it's the people that truly make the difference.
And you know, that's such a great example of what TEPSA is. It's all about the relationships. It's not just an association you join and you never hear from again. We hope that you get to know people and attend different events to kind of build those relationships. So I love hearing that, Cindy. Well, you know, the one way I love to end these member spotlight conversations is for you leaving something for the people who are listening. So if you hope they walk away with one thing today by spending a few minutes learning from you, what's one thing you want to leave them with?
Well, I might have a couple. Um, I guess the first one is to grow relationships all over the place. When we have to work through some difficult situations, it's so much easier when we have relationships before that happens. And, when trust is already in place, those difficult situations are inevitable
Yeah.
in a leadership position.
Yeah.
And then I guess my second tip would be to do everything in the best interest of kids because you can always argue, I did what I thought was right for the kids on this campus or the kids in this district. And that has been probably the one thing that's helped me sleep at night since I started in education, is just knowing that I've done everything that I could do to help the kids that I'm responsible for. And then the third tip would be to certainly plan for the hard times. As educators, we get tired. We start with great hype in August and we feel great and we're ready and we're loving everything that we do. And then, the year kind of wears us down, whether it's COVID or whatever, obstacle is put in our way. And, around October, November, things get a little more difficult and anxiety goes up a little bit. And then when STAR rolls around, April, May, anxiety goes up again. So plan for those times. Talk to your community partners, see how they can help out on your campus. Also talk to local businesses. So many different businesses are willing to provide snacks and treats and, different services to our schools. So contact those friends early when we know we're going to hit those hard times.
That is so much good advice. This is one of those episodes, people, that you were going to want to re-listen to in December when you're like going brain dead from all this stuff. Such good stuff, Cindy. Well, thank you so much, everybody. I hope that you come and meet Cindy at one of the many events that we have over the next year, whether it's AP in October, Grow in November. We've got summer conference this summer and all. I don't know what that was about, but we have all the virtual opportunities as well. So make sure you come and meet Cindy and come and hang out, meet some new people. And if you want to be featured on one of our member spotlights, just shoot an email to any of us on staff. Check out our website, TEPSA.org, for all the latest information on events and upcoming region meetings and all kinds of stuff. Cindy, it was such a pleasure getting to talk with you today, and I'm so excited to see what you're going to bring to TEPSA this year as our state president. Have a great evening, everybody.
Thanks, Todd.